Welcome to your doom. Shut it and get over here. Massive uppercut!
Hello and welcome to another edition of the JabJab Show. Today I'm reviewing Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Yes, I've had a couple of sleeps and my sleeping pattern's a little better now from the midnight showing I watched a couple of nights ago. My previous video was my journey of the night, so to speak, of that film, of what happened and what have you. So this is my full review, so to speak. It's non-spoilers, stop panicking. Going to go into a little bit of detail, not going to ruin it for you, I don't think. Okay, so let's get down to it. So Rogue One, directed by Gareth Edwards, who directed films Monsters and Godzilla. Okay, so the film stars Felicity Jones, Ben Mendelsohn, Mikkelsen, Diego Luna, Donnie Yen, Whitaker, Riz Ahmed, and Alan Tudyk. The story, in a very, very basic nutshell, is a group of rebels plan to steal the plans for the Death Star. This is the first Star Wars film I'm reviewing for my channel. This really means a lot to me. I'm really a massive fan of Star Wars. I mean, my first film I remember watching at cinema was Return of the Jedi, back when I was a very tender age. I've since obviously watched the original trilogy, and I've got on VHS the numerous versions of the original trilogy, and also on DVD, then Blu-ray, and also the prequel trilogy as well. I've also got this. They made two of these films. I've got one of them on ex-rental VHS. I've even got this, and yes, I'm not sure how many of you have seen this, but they're not going to make a 3D Blu-ray version of this anytime soon. But, I've got this anyway. Okay, so I've also got numerous video games, Star Wars games, and toys and what have you. So, I even smell of Star Wars, okay? There'll be someone out there, obviously, who'll have like the last 17 figures all carded and what have you. I'm not Steve Sansweet, but my point being, it's a big deal for me. As I mentioned on the previous video we uploaded, that chronicles my journey, to watching the Rogue One midnight showing. I do mention that's fake inspired me from watching The Force Awakens on the midnight showing. What I'm saying is the people who seek out the midnight showings, or at least the first day of release or first weekend or something, probably big fans who kind of understand, they've watched trailers and they understand, kind of the basic story, where it kind of sits on the timeline, vaguely, what kind of aesthetic it's going to be more gritty, more of a war film. They know all this, and plus, what characters might be returning or are returning based on who's in the trailer and speculation or whatever. All I'm saying is, this film, it's a direct prequel to Episode 4. It works a lot like the Thing prequel. Came out a few years ago. How that works with John Carpenter's The Thing. That's all I'm going to say at the moment. So with that being said, if you got knowledge of Episode 4, you know who in this film, who will make it to the end and who won't make it to the end. I'm not necessarily killed off as such. I'm not going to spoil anything for you. Judging on the trailer, Vader's going to be fine and Mon Mothma's going to be fine. There are other characters from the classic trilogy who do make an appearance. I'm saying no more. And there's also a particular character from the prequel trilogy who makes an appearance as well. He makes a important decision fairly late on in the film. So does that mean this film is devoid of a lot of suspense because of all this? Maybe a little bit perhaps, but it's more about the journey, not the destination. Is there going to be another version or the tinkering yet again of Episode 4, to digitally insert like a character from this film, to try and tighten a little bit more to say, hey, remember what Jin did? I don't think that they're going to go down that route, and to be honest, I don't feel they should do either. As I said in the previous video, I like this film a lot. The story they told, the way they told it, I think it worked for the most part. And let's say going in, I knew it was going to be a war film, it's going to be more gritty and what have you. That really didn't disappoint me at all. Once the ragtag group of rebels get together, it ups the pace. It's really good. The action's great, the choreography, everything's really good. I love how the camera follows the characters on the ground level, and it's like a soldier's eye view of all the big things happening. All the you get a real sense of scale. I love watching the AT-ATs or the HATs, however you you say it. I love to see them in action, and you got like some other classic spaceships on there and variations and so on. And this whole battle, skirmishes, everything like that. It's probably the strongest part of these films for me. I just want to talk about the characters. Jin herself, she's front and center of everything you've seen. In terms of like the trailer, the publicity, the marketing, whatever, she's just there. She's ostensibly the main character. She's played by Felicity Jones. She's really good in this. I love the character, of Jin herself. She's like the most fleshed out of the new characters. It starts off as with young Jin, and you get to learn what she's been kind of going through and whatever, and then gets to the adult, and she's got a lot of emotional heavy lifting in this film, and with the relationships with the character Mad Mikkelsen's playing. Also, what's really good is a K2SO, who's this ex-security droid. I'm not going to say anything more, but he's really good in this. He's played by Alan Tudyk. He was a good robot. He played Sonny in iRobot. The main robot for that film. He gives it a lot of life, a lot of personality, and so forth. He gets a lot of good, funny lines and whatever, and I really liked him a lot. Another character I really liked was Cheritimwe. I think that's how you pronounce it. Played by Donnie Yen. He plays this kind of blind spiritual monk type who he uses this mantra. He's a big believer in the Force. He uses this mantra to help himself through certain things, and it kind of reminds me of a samurai. The way he fights and whatever. For me, it kind of makes sense because George Lucas, when he's devising ideas and the story for the Star Wars, as it was known back then, he took a lot of inspiration from the samurai films of Akira Kurosawa. Most notably perhaps The Hidden Fortress. So it kind of makes sense, like I say. And the character of Cheritimwe, it's really quite unique in the whole Star Wars list of characters, which is good. Another performance I really liked was Ben Mendelsohn as Orson Krennic, who's like this commander for the Empire. He's in charge of security for the new Death Star. I just liked his performance, how he's interacting with various members on both sides. Goodies and baddies, if you will. Which brings me on to Darth Vader. He's not in this film as much as I thought he would be. I really liked his intro in the film. Shades of Empire Strikes Back there, and when he is on screen, I really liked it a lot. And one of the criticisms that's thrown about for Gareth Edwards' previous films, Monsters and certainly Godzilla, is the opinion that the film Godzilla has not a lot of Godzilla in there. There's more Mutos, there's more the other things going on. There's like the central pairing of Aaron Taylor-Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen, doing their thing and whatever. Even though it's a film called Godzilla. One of my fears was, you're gonna have like say Darth Vader slaughtering all these rebels in the background, while we focus on a couple of rice merchants or something. But no, that doesn't happen. No, Darth Vader is there. And when he's on screen, he's doing his Darth Vader stuff, which is really good. So if you think back to episode 4, you think, okay, we've got Vader in this film. Where's Tarkin? Where's Grand Moff Tarkin? I hear you all say. Well, he is in this film. I'll just let you know. He's in quite a lot of scenes, which kind of does surprise me. But the character performance is consistent with how Peter Cushing played him in episode 4. But there is an aspect of the whole thing I did find a bit too distracting, to be honest. It took me out of the film a little bit while he's on screen. I'm not going to say anything more. That's for the spoiler review. There are other cameos returning from the original trilogy. I especially like the cameos of 2 miscreants that you see in Mos Eisley. Another aspect of the Star Wars films I do consider a character is the music. I love all the Star Wars scores that's come before. John Williams has done an excellent work on all of them. And whatever you feel on the prequel trilogy, I feel that the soundtrack is a real highlight to those films. And on this film, John Williams is credited for the main titles. Rogue One is composed by Michael Giacchino. Not sure if that's how you say his name. He's a really, prolific composer. He's done a lot of work. For instance, he's done the 3 Star Trek rebooted films. He's done a lot of work for Disney and Pixar as well. I to be honest, I don't think anything as he does in this film is as strong as anything John Williams has done. He does his variations of the main theme and the Imperial March and whatever. I can see what he's doing with certain themes for, like, say, Jyn Erso and a few of the other characters and so on, but I don't think nothing really stands out. Overall, I feel the film was really good. It kept me entertained for the most part. It's not perfect though. It's like the pacing is a little off. It takes a little while for it to get going, and some of the characters, both new and returning, a little underused or underdeveloped and so forth. Also, the visual effects, I'm not in the battle sequences, a little too distracting. Takes me out of the film a little bit. As they were happening. People who have seen this film might know what or who I'm talking about. There's a few departures from some of the Star Wars film traditions in this. I get that, the director wants to put his own stamp on things, but I really don't understand the introduction of certain visual aids. It don't make sense to me. These things are kind of like redundant. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't want to go into too much detail. That's for the spoilers. Just one more thing though. I do feel a bit like Columbo right now. But there's a character in the film that does say Rogue One. It kind of sits odds with me a little bit, mentioning the title in a Star Wars film. It makes me imagine like the Emperor giving a pep talk to Darth Vader, say, "Tonight the Empire strikes back." That's not a very good impression, but you get the idea. Star Wars films has a lot of talking points, and I've done my best not to spoil anything for you. There will be a spoiler review. In the meantime, we will be working on other videos and so on. But I'd love to read your comments anyway down below in the comment section. What do you feel about the film and so on? Like I say, like, subscribe, comment, tell your friends and everything. And in the words of the new Cyrus, send the word.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.